we got here? Do they want us to delete this murderer or this rapist? Nope, they're fine. Okay, oh, I see what we have here. Someone who's the worst of the worst. Someone who has a slightly different opinion to the journalists every now and then, which is one time too many. Might be hard to ban this person if they get too popular. You engage the D ranking, and you lift the journalists higher up on the platform. Oh, it's not enough.
Ohayo gozaimasu. Minasan, watashi no channel wo youkosho. Shimata. You might have remembered a few weeks or months back me talking about the plus-size woman that was telling everyone online how they were fat phobic for whatever reason she said at the time.
Hey, bestie! You're wrong.
Sometimes these ridiculous TikToks go in one ear and out the other, much like my ex-girlfriend complaining about her life. And I'm like, yes, you are the creative genius of our generation. Well, anyway, the trend of telling everyone that they're fat phobic is still going on in TikTok. In fact, it's jumped up a notch. Now, if you work out to be physically fit, then that makes you fat phobic. If you work out because you feel you're fat phobic. If you work out because you don't want to be fat, you guessed it, you're fat phobic. Basically, whatever you do, you're a bigot. I hope you understand that. Live it, learn it, and love it, you bigot. You're hateful. You're so hateful that you hate yourself and you don't even see it. That's what makes you disgusting. Thank God for liberal TikTok to help me to understand to love myself appropriately and call everyone else a bigot. That's the move to make. In fact, YouTube is run by bigots. Ooh, this feels good. As in all things cringeworthy on TikTok, there's a young girl to tell you how you're wrong. Meanwhile, she knows nothing about life other than what's been indoctrinated to her by either TikTok or some other contemporary friend that specializes in being a victim. My God, I'm surprised we don't have that in the Special Olympics. Special Olympics? Whoops. I'm surprised we don't have that in the Olympics. Like the victimhood sector. Maybe I work out because I have been bullied and ashamed for my weight. And I want to make a change. Laughing emojis. Exactly. What the hell's your name? Builds Baby, I guess that's the name. Yes, make a change. Michael Jackson said it in the old days, remember? The song was like, gonna make a change. The whole song was about being a better person or a better version of yourself. Now we live in an age where basically making a change is bigoted. Good Lord, unless it's the change they approve of. And who knows what that change will be tomorrow.
If you decided to work out in order to change your body's appearance to avoid weight stigma, that is still fat phobia.
Take that, you bigot! She zooms in with a look cold as ice to tell you how you are fat phobic. You are disgusting, Builds Baby. How dare you want to be beach ready? How dare you? Oh my God, I can't stand this person. Roast them, honey. I'm fat phobic too because I'm on the treadmill going until like I'm close to passing out. Yeah, I'm going until my legs burn and I can barely breathe and I'm looking at the calorie counter, and I'm like, 1 more mile. I didn't even know that I was such a bigot.
Fat people can be fat phobic. Skinny people can be fat phobic.
My mother's fat phobic. She's always asking me for a loan to get she said the celebrity arm surgery, and then she shakes her arm. You can't see me doing it, but she shakes it like this because her arm does move like, they're trying to be nice because it's my mother, but it's like a sack of fat is the best way I could put it. She just shakes it back and forth. It almost collapses itself. And she's like, it's only $5,000 an arm. The next time my mother asks for a loan to get liposuction, I'm just going to tell her, you're fat phobic. And I can't take this anymore. From now on, when she asks for money for her health, I will just tell her how she's fat phobic. You've saved me so much money, girl.
I'm fat phobic, and it's no one's fault. We are conditioned to hate fat people.
Your thoughts?
What? Wait, how can you be a bigot and you're trying to educate me on my bigotry? I don't understand. She should be canceled, I think. This is grounds for cancellation. You can't tell me what to do when you're an admitted fat phobe, you bigot.
If that's why you started and that's why you're still going, then cool, great for you. Working out is still really good for you, no matter the reason. But I hope one day you learn to love fitness for the actual health benefits, like for your heart and your joints and your muscles.
Go off. If you run on a treadmill too much, it screws up your leg joints. Ask any f***ing trainer. And we're all like rats in a maze trying to lose a couple pounds so we could be more attractive for the women on the f***ing phone app to swipe left just a little slower. Like, oh, he's got good legs. Too bad he's got that busted ass grill. Swipe.
Not just because you look a certain way.
Yeah, well, that's life. That's how mating works. I mean, frankly, all animals are like this. Like the birds of paradise. Watch it on Netflix if it's still up. It's about like these birds. The female birds are all brown. They're boring. They're basic. The male birds are gorgeous. And the male birds have to be prettier than the other male birds or else they ain't going to get any bird ass. So if you aren't looking fit and beautiful as a male bird of paradise, you ain't getting any. It's in all species. Frankly, if you're not good looking, you're not getting laid. If you're a guy. I've seen some ugly chicks get laid still, but ugly dudes, man, if you are not good looking, you are screwed. If you got a bad face as a dude, you better make sure your body is chiseled or you will see no action. And then there's always some ass pops up and goes, personality. And it's like, shut up, dude. Shut up. My whole YouTube channel is based on personality. And I still got to jump through hoops to get my wet. Don't want to hear it from you, Professor Chubbs. Get the hell out of here. Uh-oh. This channel is now in trouble. My fat phobia has gone unchecked for a whole 5 minutes.
Fire him! He's a little bitch. He made my fanny itch. Get him out. Get him out.
This video is sponsored by ExpressVPN, which protects you from hackers who try to steal your private information. Every time you connect to an unencrypted Wi-Fi network, such as airports, hotels, coffee shops, even at your home, you're at risk. Airbnb, anybody? Your ISPs can see all the websites that you're visiting, even in incognito mode, and it's legally allowed for them to sell this to advertisers, which Google is more than happy to do, and ExpressVPN makes it much more difficult for them to track you by masking your IP. On top of that, they also offer the best-in-class data encryption. Don't believe me? Just Google search the best VPNs of 2021. ExpressVPN's #1. Go to expressvpn.com/Gundam to find out how you can get 3 months of ExpressVPN for free, or click the link in the description.
Not just because you look a certain way.
I mean, just to reiterate my point, remember that dude, I can't remember his name, it's like something Federline, something like that, right? Remember the guy he was a felon, he was arrested, he did a whole bunch of crimes, and he took like this mugshot and he's good looking, and he got a career off of it. And all the women online would talk about how he could beat and rob them, right? Not one of them said, I think he's got a good personality. Save it. Save it. Do not lie to me. All right, sorry. I'm very sorry for that outburst, Stu.
I think what's most scary is comments like these because people don't realize that fat phobia is rooted in racism.
Wait, what? Whoa. 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 That jumped up a notch. What? Fat phobia is now racist? I'm confused. My God. Everything is... Remember, I'm always saying I might as well be a member, Barry. But remember back in 2016, we all laughed at Anita Sarkeesian when she was like...
Everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out.
We're all here. She won. She won. Literally. If you don't want to be fat and you work out, you're not only fat phobic, you're now somehow a racist. I'm still trying to figure out how this works. I got the calculator out. I am racking my brain at the numbers. I'm still confused. But she will explain to you why you're a bigot.
And more specifically, anti-blackness. When slavery became more widespread, it was hard to just rely on skin color as
What?
a way to identify slaves.
What?
Fatness as a physical descriptor fit the savage narrative
what?
that white...
Oh my God. So now, the slaves were so light-skinned during slavery, the slave master didn't know if he was making his daughter pick cotton or the slave Tricia, is what you're saying. I'm losing it, dude. Oh, I have to watch this. We're rewinding.
Became more widespread, it was hard to just rely on skin color as a way to identify slaves. Fatness as a physical descriptor fit the savage narrative that whites used to oppress black people.
How can you be fat as a slave? Call me crazy. You know, before I get in trouble, because YouTube's stupid, I'm probably demonetized just for even trying to wrap my mind around this. How were there any fat slaves? I think there's probably like the ones that got to stay in the house and make food. Maybe? Judging from Gone with the Wind, I'm sorry, my knowledge of slavery is gone with the wind. But for real, I think if you're out in the field working all day, you are burning calories. And I'm 100% sure they didn't give the slaves the good, tasty food. That's why chitlins was invented. And I'm pretty sure, let it roll, dude, let it roll. Don't try and make sense of like a liberal woman's nonsense. You just listen and either laugh or walk away. You will go crazy trying to put this together. I feel like I'm looking at the Ark of the Covenant.
Obviously, a lot has changed since the 18th century. We know fatness is not specific to Black people, and we've used that as an excuse to shape a societal beauty standard that is anti-fat.
Really, Queen? No.
Okay, what about all the rich white people, even in England, that had nothing to do with slavery that were fat? Gout was considered the disease of the wealthy. If you were rich and you didn't have gout, it was like being an influencer with no followers, you know? So how do you explain that? And the only way you get gout is if you become a lard ass. So this whole argument here is retarded.
That includes being thin. That includes gaining muscle so you can look toned and have less fat on your body.
No, people are getting muscle and getting toned because it's the only way you can get some chicks today. Like a dude has, I want 6-pack abs and 6-figure, you know, it's like, you out the game if you ain't fit, baby, or a social media influencer. Good Lord, you think women follow Logan and Jake Paul because they're smart guys and they're great arbiters of the English language? No, they look good with their shirts off and they're white and blonde. Jesus Christ.
And what happens if you don't meet the standard of beauty? You will face systemic oppression.
Oh boy, the oppression Olympics are here. People watching them while they're eating in a restaurant. I don't watch a fat person eat. I don't give a People checking out the contents of their cart. Who does this? Who is looking at the contents of a fat person's cart? I don't give a shit. The only time I'm bothered by a fat person is when they run over my foot with the goddamn Segway. You know that thing they ride because they think it's funny in Walmart? You know, the annoying ones. Let's see, fat jokes on TV. Everybody gets joked on, but in this day and age, you can't make a joke nowhere without getting canceled. Friends asking him, do I look fat? Okay, she's on it like a television show or something. Being prescribed weight loss for every medical problem. You know, I think weight loss would be a good place to start if you're morbidly obese. Call me crazy. Because I know someone who's morbidly obese. I'm literally, my life is eating Gilbert Grape. People don't even know. Like off camera or video, I'm struggling. Hard time finding work and getting paid the same as a thin person. Okay, so now fat people are underpaid because they're fat. When does this narrative of oppression stop? Like, we're still being told that women are underpaid. Scarlett Johansson running around like, oh, women are under something or other. I'm like, I don't want to hear it, Queen. You make millions of dollars to play fantasy. You know, like, shoo away with you. You were fine when you weren't going towards 40. Now you're almost 40. All of a sudden, you got these issues. Let's see. Shopping in a special section of the store for limited selections of clothes. On what planet, girl? I have to buy most of my clothes from Japan because they only make them in my size. I have to buy my clothes from Asia. You don't see me whining. I buy a size medium in American and it's like I'm wearing a nightgown. Let it go.
You cannot always determine health by your body's appearance. So yes, if you work out strictly for appearance-based reasons, you are fat phobic. And before you comment, read the definition of fat phobia.
Then I'm fat phobic. I want to fit my clothes to look really nice. So when chicks look at me, they're like, he's not bad. Yeah, she's fat phobic. I'm pro getting laid. Fat phobia, the intense fear or dislike of becoming fat in fat bodies. I just dislike becoming fat. It's like everybody. You know? I hate 2021. Everything you do, you're bad. Everything. Are you working out because you want to look good and appeal to the opposite sex? Yep, you're fat phobic. Did you grow up with fat family members and you don't want to be fat like them? Yeah, that's me. Oh, whoa, we got a bigot on our hands. We got a bigot. Christ in heaven. I remember when I was young, I used to sit there and I'd think, man, what's with all these old dudes wanting to go back in time? It's cool right now. I wasn't around for like the 80s, you know, but I remember I watched videos and stuff on MTV and VH1 Classic when I had good cable. and you'd see everybody having fun, dancing, partying, listening to music, getting laid, doing drugs, and not once did anyone stop Van Halen in the middle of a solo and go, "Hey, David Lee Roth, with your little spin kicks and your fit little body, you're fat phobic. You, Diamond Dave." That's where we are now. What a lame time to be alive. Oh, I forgot. Using the word lame is problematic. Whoops.